Hey, what's up, my radical squad? My name is DelmarshaeWalker. Welcome back to my channel. And I'm sure you've seen on the news where President Biden went to Canada and spoke with the Prime Minister, Justice Trudeau. And one of the things they spoke about was the border. You know, they wanted to secure Canada's border, so anyone that's coming in from the United States crossing illegally to Canada, they're able to send them back. And so Biden, you know, he's gung-ho about it. He's okay with that. He want to make sure that Canada border is secure. And so I don't understand why he can't do the same thing for the southern border with Mexico. Anyone cross over illegally, they're able to send them back to Mexico, you know, and if they want to cross over, they have to do it legally. You know, so why is one border more important than another? You know, both borders the United States. So if you're worried about who's going into Canada, or if Justin Trudeau is worried about who's coming into Canada, or the economic hardship that it may put on his country, why can't we have the same thing, you know, on the southern border with Mexico, to make sure that we know who's coming across the border, and we also understand the financial hardship that it may or may not have on the country as a whole. So I feel like, you know, it's like it's pointless to make it seem like you're doing something, you know, like he's really doing something, because he's not. You know, America is not secure. What part of that do he not understand? What part of that do his cabinet not understand? America is not a secure country. And so that's one of the things they talked about. And the other thing they talked about, you know, other than China, was Haiti. And they do want, you know, it's like Haiti is really just getting worse. You know, every day the situation with Haiti is getting worse. And so the United Nations do want to do something about it, but it's like it's two things that's, well, kind of three things that's stopping them. One, the Haitian people do not want America or Canada coming in to their country, you know, putting boots on the ground because of the past, what happened in the past. America and Canada really don't want to put boots on the ground because of what happened in the past and the situation that they went into to try to get everything organized, try to get, you know, restore order. That really hasn't happened from the first time they went over there. So that's one issue. And then the second issue is with the United Nations as a whole. The last time they put a vote up to send someone over there, China and Russia, you know, they're part of the UN, they voted it down. They said no. And so they want to go ahead and do, you know, another vote on it to see if the United Nations can go there, but they still don't know who's going to be running it, who's going to be in charge, what country is going to be ahead of that. But they still hope that, you know, because it still depends on if China or Russia says no and vote it down, because they have to be a unanimous vote to have someone go over there to help restore order in Haiti. So that right there is still kind of pending. Don't know how that's going to go. And the other thing I want to talk about, and this is also about kind of like securing the border, because we know it's a lot of fentanyl and a lot of opioids that's coming across the border. And some of that, you know, they're saying that it's coming from China, that China is sending it to Mexico, and then from Mexico it's coming to the United States through our open border. And so it's a drug called tranq, which is, they're now, you know, like putting it, mixing it with opioids. And some people call it the zombie drug because how it has people acting and behaving. I'm going to share a video with you, and then I'm going to come back and talk some more about it.
This is a typical day in Kensington, a neighborhood in Philadelphia. As police, homeless services, sanitation services come and clear out areas like this one. In the debris, you'll often find images like this. Narcan stashed away in a wall right next to a syringe. A life-saving treatment alongside the thing that kills. This place is the epicenter of Philadelphia's opioid crisis, the largest open-air drug market in the Northeast. On a given day, 400 to 800 people are on the streets here looking for their next high. But Kensington is also home to thousands of families, their lives impacted by this crisis. Every day here, scenes of heartbreak. Curtis Benson is looking for his daughter. She's addicted to opioids and has been missing for 3 weeks.
She had got about 9 months clean and just took a turn for the worse. I just need to know that she's still amongst the living. I just don't know what else to do.
According to the Philadelphia Police Department, fathers like Curtis are a common occurrence here.
We get it once or twice a day. You'll have parents come up, grandparents, aunts, uncles, showing us pictures.
Philadelphia had its highest death toll ever from unintentional drug overdoses in 2021. And for the first time, Black Philadelphians were hit the hardest, making up 42% of the lives lost. And it's getting worse. Further poisoning the drug supply here is xylazine.
See, you're not screaming like before. That's a plus sign.
Also known as tranq.
Okay.
It's an animal tranquilizer that sedates while getting you high and leads to both intense withdrawals and severe wounds. The city is piloting a mobile wound care van to combat tranq's effects. Why is a wound care van necessary in this community right now?
Individuals are getting these wounds from injecting the xylazine, and this can lead to amputations. This can lead to flesh-eating wounds. It might inhibit a person to getting treatment or housing.
We met Eric when he asked the police to get him treatment for his wounds. That's from the tranq that they've been mixing?
You're in pain, it makes you more likely to use because you want to relieve the pain.
Even though it was the drugs that created the wounds?
There is no fentanyl that doesn't have tranq in it.
Tranq further complicating problems for residents, outreach workers, and law enforcement here.
And so as you can see how the people are behaving, how it's just having them acting almost like zombies, and then on top of that is eating up their flesh to the point that some people might have to end up having parts of their body amputated depending on how bad the situation get. And like Narcan is a drug that usually they can, if you overdose on an opioid, they can use that drug to kind of bring you back. But with tranq, because it's not an opioid, it's an animal tranquilizer, it doesn't work on that. So you can end up overdosing because they really have nothing to use to bring you back from that overdose. And so, it's, like I said, it's an animal tranquilizer. Initially, like back in 1962, the Bear Company was doing research on I think it was xylazine. So the name of it is xylazine. I think that's the correct pronunciation. So back in 1962, the Bear Company was working on that as a medication for humans, for people who can't sleep and they take that, or pain medication, but they found out that it was too dangerous for humans, so they approved it for animals. That's the only thing that's approved for animal, to be an animal tranquilizer. Somehow it's now part of the drugs that humans are taking that are basically killing them, having them like zombies. And it's sad that these people are in a way, in a bad situation already, and then they're getting addicted to a drug that's not only has the potential of killing them, but slowly eating their bodies up to the point that they're, losing limbs and different things like that. So they're going from like bad situation to worse if they don't go to rehab or die. And so it's like, I had said before in other videos, America is such a blessed country, and you can tell there's so many people, they're willing to risk their lives to get to America because of the dream of what America used to be, or what America should be or could be. They're risking their lives to come over here. And so we are here in America, and we create problems where there was no problems. We create problems where there shouldn't be any problems. So it's like you have a blessing, but you're still not happy. It's like the blessing that we have here in America is not good enough to the point that we have to cause problems. It's almost like, you know, I know it's the devil working through people, but it's like they would rather have misery. They would rather have chaos. They would rather have confusion instead of happiness, instead of joy, instead of all these good things that we should be enjoying here in America. It's not good enough. Everyone wants to be miserable. And then it's not that they just want to be miserable within themselves. They want to spread that misery to other people. So when someone sees someone happy, it's like it irks some people to the point they have to go out their way to say something to the person, or to be mean to that person, or to make that person feel bad or feel worse than they were before, you know, just to make them feel bad. Because it's, you know, like what you see going on with the kids and different things like that. The issue that we having with food, it's like they're putting poison in our food. And then if you think about it, like I said, xylazine was manufactured by Bayer. Bayer is a company that makes vitamins, you know, and other over-the-counter drugs. But then they also make poison. A lot of poison that, you know, go out there to kill for crops and stuff like that, that you might use out in your yard as weed killers. They're made by the same company. So how can you be a health company selling health on one hand and selling death on another? To me, that don't go together. Either you're about health or you're about death. So we got this company that's health and death, and they're making chemicals. And a lot of these chemicals, they're putting in medication, just like I said, they're putting in food, and it's getting to the point that you don't even know what to eat anymore. Even the stuff that you think is healthy is no longer healthy because of all the other stuff they're putting in the food, and that they're allowed to put in the food. And so it's like we're creating this mess in America that now is just, people's lives are being affected by it. People's lives are just falling apart. You know, it's like when you see these people and how they're acting and how they're behaving, it's sad. Because it's one thing if you say, okay, I know I'm going to be taking animal tranquilizer and this happened to you. But when some people cases, they're thinking they're taking one thing and they don't know that they added animal tranquilizer to that. Now they're addicted. Now they're on this wave of going through all this other stuff, and it's hard for them to break that addiction. So, you know, I do pray for those people, and it's just heartbreaking to see some of the misery that people go through. Some of it is based on their own decision, their own choices. I understand that. But some of it, you know, it's like sometimes these people fall on bad luck, and they make one wrong decision. That don't mean they're bad people. That don't mean they deserve the things that have happened to them, because anyone can make one wrong step, one wrong move. You know, think about if you go somewhere to get an edible, like if you smoke weed or something like that, or if you do you know, even if it's legal to do weed, just say you go somewhere to get an edible and somebody put something in there that you don't know, an ingredient that's in there that gets you addicted because they want to keep you coming back as their customer. So they add an ingredient in there that you don't know is there. Now you're addicted. You know, now you keep going back, and then you find that you're in a bad situation because of this one thing you decided to go do, or you want to try edible for the first time. You know, like I said, so you can't really be just heartless when you see these people, or just make fun of them or laugh at them, because you really don't know their situation. You don't know what happened to them to make them decide, oh, I want to get high today. it's like I said, it's not like they say, oh, I want to get high off an animal tranquilizer. They just might have wanted to get high that day and end up falling into a situation that's now is out of control, you know, out of their control. And so that's why I feel like it's very important that we do secure the border. It's very important that we do know who's running around in our country. And I even said it before, I feel like a lot of this is about just having people available to just test on people, to really see how things are going to happen. If we do this, and do this, what's going to happen after that? If we do this and do this, what's going to happen? It's like it's a big incubator, and they're running tests on people, test after test, psychologically, mentally, physically. I in my heart believe that, because when you sit back and look at all the things that's going on, like I did a video about how these kids are on these different platforms and they see how they push out these different I'm sorry, the word just slipped my mind, challenges. They push out these different challenges, and like I said in those other videos, where do these challenges start from? One challenge, you know, it was like a while back where people was pouring alcohol, not alcohol, but fingernail polish remover on themselves and setting themselves on fire. Who comes up with a challenge like that? Who's sitting around saying, okay, let me set myself on fire? And then you see these kids going right behind them doing it. When they started stealing cars, the kids following it. So it's like, how far can we push these people on a mental level? And how many people will go ahead and do it? Like I said, anytime you come up with something, there's data that needs to be taken. There's people that's somewhere taking data saying, okay, what can we get these people to do? How far can we control these people? How far can we push them? And they're collecting all this data on people through these challenges, and not just kids do these challenges. There's a lot of challenges that I be seeing that adults be doing. And I be sitting in the back thinking to myself, why are these, you know, some challenges, I understand they're fun, you're bored, you want to try it. But then I see certain challenges, it's like, why are you doing that? You know, it's like, it makes no sense, because sometimes I'm the type of person, you know, I see certain things, I'm stepping back, okay, and saying, okay, who came up with this? Why did they come up with this? Why do they want people to do this? What is the outcome from this? What are you supposed to get from that? That's how my mind be working sometimes when I see certain things. And I be wondering, do the people who's doing it, do they ever question, why am I doing this? Or do they just see everyone else doing it and they want to jump on it? They don't want to miss out. They don't want to say, oh, I didn't do that challenge. They want to be able to say, yeah, I did that challenge and I got a video to prove it. But yeah, that's it. I hope everyone is having a great day. Peace.